So so can you see that it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. The timing, the rhythm track is not in a very straight manner. There's already 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Some such odd timing signature is there. So he's already getting influenced by this shall we say, non-traditional time signatures. Now, for those of you who are, I don't want to go too technical, but let me just, based on my experience and my background, I've been trained in the Carnatic style of Mridangam playing. So I'm oversimplifying this. So typically rhythm patterns are 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hundreds and hundreds of songs we can talk about that. And multiples of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thousands of songs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was somewhat coming close to that. Lots of film songs are there, like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 7. Pattern of 7. And by and large, this is what is used in Indian classical music. But technically, or rather theoretically, there are 35 different types of tals, the rhythm patterns. Most commonly used is, what is called as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is called as Adi Talam. A cycle of 8. Everything builds around a cycle of 8. That's in Carnatic music. Why I'm saying this is because it will come up again when we talk about Shakti and Mahavishnu and so on. So over here, with this rhythm pattern that you got, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, some such odd pattern was there. So he's already getting influenced by what is called the non-traditional time signatures which are there. And as we will see later, he will build up and create his own time signatures which are odd. Now all the time signatures, the rhythm patterns that we have, they are all either odd numbers or even numbers. You have either 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 11, 24, 27. The tal, which is maximum number, is 29. But you don't have 27 and 3/4 traditionally. He created his own time signature. Some songs are there 6 and 3/4, 4 and quarter, and 7 and 3/4, and so on and so forth. So, that's really challenging the entire thing. But we'll come to that later. So let's move on with the journey. So he moved to the US in 1970. He says he jammed once with Jimi Hendrix once in sometime in 1969. He says, unfortunately, there is no tape of that. It would have been 1 in a million kind of tape over there. So, moved to the US in 1970, and that's when things really started happening. Tony Williams was already well known because young Tony Williams, he was always young Tony Williams. Thanks to Miles Davis picking him up at the age of what, 18 or 16? 17, correct, okay. So, because he's picked up at 17, he's always young Tony Williams. But here he is already in 1970 or so, starting his own group called as Lifetime. And the first album was known as Emergency. It was a trio, Tony Williams, Larry Young, and John J.M. on guitar. Okay. The album was re-released after John McLaughlin became famous. It was released, but no one paid it too much of attention. It did not climb the charts or anything like that. But later on, cashing in rather, I shouldn't say banking in, cashing in on James post Mahavishnu and Shakti fame, all his earlier albums were re-released. Okay, so moving on. The breakthrough came, of course, with Miles Davis, because Miles Davis was done with quotes unquote white man's music. Jazz is, he famously quoted, jazz is a name which is given by white man to what we play. So he was done with that and he was looking in new directions. So the whole rock, essence of rock is what he said, okay, there is something in this probably which we can take a look at. So Bitches Brew and In a Silent Way are two path-breaking albums. Everyone knows here that Witch's Brew is something, it's literally like a huge cauldron in which all sorts of masala is being put. We don't know what is coming out, okay, honestly speaking. Personally, it's not my favorite album. I like In a Silent Way better because side 1, it is one long continuous music, side 2, it is one long continuous music. And the artists are improvising. So you had all the who is who of what we call 1970s jazz, like Joe Zawinul, Chick Corea, everyone who went on to create their own groups. They are all there in this 2 path-breaking albums. And Witch's Brew is now available in a standard version, and then the outtakes and all sorts of stuff, okay? Alternate takes, outtakes, everything is available nowadays. So here, but Miles Davis was so impressed with John McLaughlin's playing that he said, here is a track in your name. This track will be titled John McLaughlin, play what you want to play. So let's hear that track from Witch's Brew, and the title is called John McLaughlin.